Hey, what up, you guys? Sometime Kev's here, and it is Naked and Afraid night, and I feel so guilty every time I watch this show. They're starving, and I'm just cooking something delicious. So tonight is no exception. I'm sorry. I'm guilty. I feel guilty, but I'm gonna eat. Tonight is something very unusual. I made homemade bread, which you saw, and it is a bread bowl, and so I cut the top off. And then I filled it full of Brie and honey. Oh my gosh. Brie cheese and honey, a little thyme on top, and just a little bit of parsley. But these are the pieces that I cut off of the lid, toasted them, so they're nice and toasty. But I mean, this is melty, gooey, delicious. And I feel so guilty. No, I don't. This is amazing. The homemade bread is soft with a crispy crust. It's got, I added just a tiny bit more salt than it calls for, so we got a little bit of a salt taste, and then that Brie is so creamy and delicious. All right, bread's really easy. It's about just under 2 cups of flour, and then add about 2 teaspoons of salt to the flour. And push that aside, and then get 3/4 of a cup warm water between 100 and 110. Don't go above 110; it's going to kill your yeast. And then mix in 2 teaspoons of yeast in with that. Let it sit up to 10 minutes. It's going to speed up this whole process. Then mix that in with the flour and salt. You saw what I did. Just kind of. It's going to be kind of chunky. Let it sit for 1 hour to 2 hours, and it'll about double in size.
It's ready to rise.
And then preheat your oven to 450 degrees with your pan and lid on it in the oven. Get that all preheated up. And you make that little ball like I did, and then you just put it in some parchment paper. Take your lid off, put it in there in the oven for 20 to 25 minutes. Kind of peek at it, and don't get it too brown. Typically you would take the lid off and cook it another 5 to 8 minutes to get it brown and really crispy but nice and soft on the inside. But the reason I didn't do that is because I was going to put it in the oven at 350 with the Brie in it, and that's all you do to make bread. It's simple. Just buy your flour, your salt, and your yeast, and you got water at your house. Okay, let's continue. Just amazing. When you do this, do not worry about cutting the rind off. The rind, you can't even tell it's there. It's just amazing. The rind is just like the rest of the cheese. That's so good. Oh my gosh, one more bite. So the plate is even hot that it's sitting on. So to do this, I made a small bowl, so it was only like 1.5 cups of flour, tablespoon, 2 teaspoons of yeast, 3/4 of a cup of warm water. So simple. If you've never made a homemade bread bowl, you got to do it. And that Brie cheese melted inside of that. Oh gosh, look at that. That's so good. Sometime Kev checking in, checking out. This is a good recipe. You've got to do this. I'm going to list it below, so check it out. If you like this kind of content, check out my YouTube channel, Delicious Feel Good Foods and Recipes. Anybody can cook these. Anybody can make them, bake them, cook them, and eat them and enjoy what you do. My motto is eat for health and happiness, and you need to eat for both of those, health and happiness. Oh gosh, that is good. Adds just a touch of sweetness to that beautiful Brie cheese. It's melty. It's so good.